In these two problems, we're going to take a look at probability of separate events that are happening at the same time. So, for instance, in the first problem, we want to find the probability if you spin the spinner and pick a card. So in number one, and let's label these here, number one, number two. Number one, I want the probability of hitting the white area on the spinner and selecting the letter K out of the cards. So we're going to find the probability of each event separately first, and then we'll deal with, well, how do you figure out what the probability is of them happening at the same time. So the first part, probability of getting on the white section is 1 out of 5 total sections on the spinner. And then what is the probability of getting a K? Well, there's 4 cards, only one is a K, so it's 1 out of 4. Now, if you want to find the probability of both events happening at the same time, you just multiply both probabilities together. So 1 times 1 is 1, 5 times 4 is 20. So 1 out of every 20 times that you spin the spinner and pick a card, you'll get a white and a K. So for number 2, probability of white and an S. Well, the probability of getting white's exactly the same thing, so 1 out of 5. Probability of getting an S, well, there's 2 S's, so we have 2 out of 4 now, which gives us 2 out of 20, and then 2 out of 20 reduces to 1 out of 10. So basically, you're just finding the probability of both events separately, and then multiplying them together, because we want both events to happen at the same time. So in the second situation here, we have Mr. and Mrs. Quagmire. They've decided to have a family. So number one, if they have one child, what is the probability that it is a boy? So we know the probability of having a boy is 1/2, 1 out of 2. Number two, if you have 2 children, what is the probability they're both boys? So the first child is 1 out of 2. Second child is 1 out of 2. Multiplied together, we get 1 out of 4. 3. You now have 3 children. And what is the probability? They're all boys. So 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, and 1 out of 2, which gives me 1 out of 8. Okay. And then the last part, we have 4 children now. And again, what are the probability? They're all boys. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 probabilities. Child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4. Multiply them together. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 to the 4th power is 16. So 1 out of every 16 situations will you have a situation where you have all 4 boys.